Hello everyone, and welcome to another challenge. We're going to be doing the article preview component, which is relatively easy, but it has some bit of absolute positioning which I don't really like. So you can head over to frontendmentor.io/challenges and just look for this challenge. It's called the article preview component, and then you can click on it to start the challenge, and then click on start challenge here. Okay, can close this, and then you can just say download the starter. I already completed this challenge a while back, but I think it will be a good refresher in terms of just laying out your project, for example. So once it downloads this for me, I'm going to go into my downloads folder. I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and I'm going to get it from here. And then I'm just going to say where's extract. I'm going to extract it inside here, and then for this I'm going to open this with Visual Studio Code like so. Let's see what we have for our mobile design first. Okay, so relatively simple. This should be easy enough. Now what I'm going to do is right inside my index.html. Let's see, let me remove this, and then I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to cut it out and remove this style tag. And then instead of the style tag, I'm going to link my style sheet inside here, which I'm going to create. Just move it above right there, and then I'm going to create a style.css and then paste this in like so. Okay, and then once I do that, then I can remove this. Fantastic. And then right inside here I'm going to say https and then say Thomas, and then I want this to open on a new tab, so I'm going to say target equals to blank with a rel of no opener and no referrer, and then I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to paste it inside here as well. So let's begin structuring this out. Let's see what we have. We have the image at the top. So what I'm going to do first of all is just grab all of this, cut it out, and I'm going to say div with a class of container, place all of this inside the container like so, and then inside here I'm going to add a div which is going to house my image coming from images/drawers. Oops, I want this one. Okay, /drawers, and then we're going to create another div, and this div is going to have an h, let me say an h2. Is this an h1? I'm just going to say it's an h2, and this h2 I'm going to grab this text and move it upwards like so, and I'm moving it upwards by holding down the alt key and then using the up or down arrows. That's how I'm doing this. Okay, so if I select multiple lines and just hold down the alt key, move up or down, it's going to move all the lines that I've selected. It's a handy trick to know. And then below this h2 I'm going to place a paragraph, and then I'm going to grab these 3 lines, move them upwards like so. And then once we have our paragraph, then we need to add this. So I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to place a div with the class of avatar inside here, and then just paste this in first of all, and then this div with the class of avatar, what do I want to do with it? Let me see how this looks. So we want the div with the class of avatar to have the image, and then this too, and then the icon on the right. What I need to do is place this, actually place a container here, which is going to be the container div, so the div with the class of avatar, and then I'm going to place the image and this text inside here, inside another div probably, then place this inside another div or a block element, so that when I say display, so that when I display this as a flex box, I can set them to justify content to space between which you place them end to end. Okay, so let's do that. So cut this out, place it inside a div, and then I'm going to add an image here. This is coming from /images. It's called avatar Michelle, and then how am I going to style this? Actually, let me say this is an h4, and then let me say this is a paragraph. So wait, what did I do? I thought I cut it out. I meant to cut it out like so, and then grab this share, place it inside another div,
and just say a paragraph, and this is going to have an image that comes from /images / with the icon share, like so. So you can have that for now. Let's save that. And then this icon share needs to have something else. When I click on this, then it means I want what is it? I want this to open up, which would mean that since it covers all of this, then I'm going to place a div, right? I'm going to place a div with the class of, let's say, open-share, and this div with the class of open share is going to have a paragraph that says share inside here, and then this paragraph is going to say what else? It's going to have these three icons and then the share icon as well. So I'm going to say this is first image coming from /images /Facebook, and just copy this down. This is icon dash, what's it called? Pinterest, like so. And then the final one is icon dash Twitter, like so. And then outside of this div, let's see. So what's happening inside here? So this, let's see. So these are kind of grouped together, and then this is to the end. So what I need to do is, because these are grouped together, oh my god, this is such a terrible folder structure. This is a terrible folder structure. Let me grab this, add a URL inside here with list items, let's say list items ×3, paste this in, and then grab this second one, cut it out and paste it inside here. Grab this third one, cut it out and paste it inside here, so that we have a list, another list inside here which houses our images. Okay, so when I display flex on this will be one flex item, and then this will be the second flex item, right? But I don't want that to happen. So what I want to happen is I want this to be inside the div, like so, so that I can go outside this div, and then I can add my image /share, like so. That should be the proper folder structure. Okay. Let me open this up with live server so that we see what we have on screen. Place this to the side, like so. And then let's head over to our style guide. Let's see what we need. We need to get the font is 13 pixels. It's called mandrop, so we need the 500 and 700 fonts. So let's head over to fonts.google.com. Let's get the font that is called mandrop, and then let's get the 500 and 700 fonts, the medium 500, the bold 700, and then let's grab this link tag inside here. So copy this, and then go inside our index.html and right at the top, where is it? Let me place it up here. So we have our mandrop right there, and then inside our CSS we can begin to use it by saying for the body, we're going to set the body to a font family of mandrop, like so, with a fallback of sans serif. Terrific. And then for the paragraphs, we're going to give the paragraphs a font size of 13 pixels, which is the recommended one from our style guide right here. Okay, we don't need this. We are going to wait a minute. Yeah, we're going to use the SVGs that they have provided for us, so we don't really need this. And then I need to grab all of this because I don't want to keep on jumping between this file and our style sheet. So that once you do that, then I can close this down, and then I can set my global variables at the top. So change this into a, actually, you know what, just grab this first of all, and then set them inside the root like so, that we can place them inside as variables. So dash small v, very dark grayish blue, so very dark grayish dash blue, like so. And remember that these two dashes at the beginning are very important. You have to have them, otherwise they're not going to be recognized as CSS variable. So this is desaturated dark blue dash dash desaturated dash dark dash blue. This is grayish blue, grayish dash blue, semicolon right there. This is light grayish blue, light dash grayish dash blue, like so. Add our semicolon and our semicolon, looking fantastic. So you can save that, and then we can take a look. We still need to reset a few things inside here, but you can just see that now our font reflects, and as you can see, we need to reset just a few things inside here. Okay, so let's see. Let me place this to the side, and then let's do the resetting. So right above this, I'm going to select my all selector, get my asterisk, and I'm going to say reset the margin to 0, set the padding, reset the padding to 0, and then set the box sizing to border box. Okay, which will move things inwards just a bit. Actually, not, I should have placed this at the bottom so that the root becomes the first one. And then below this, I'm going to say for the UL, then I want the list style type, set this to none so that we don't have bullets on our unordered list. And then for the images, I'm going to set a max width over 100% just so that we don't have this horizontal scroll bar because of the image that is overflowing. Okay, but once I save this, then it should reset. Look at that, looking amazing. Let me close this. Now what we need to do is add this very slight background color on the body. So let's do that. Immediately I can say background dash color, set it to dash dash light grayish blue should be it. Let me see. Yep, that should be it. And then now I can target the container. Let's see how this looks. I can target the container because the container has a white background color. Let's see, I had a class of container, so let me grab this and move it upwards right about there. Okay, and then let me target the class of container. So dot container, I want to set the background color. Yeah, background dash color, set this to white. Let me see how this looks. Okay, so that we have this, right? Fantastic. And then go back to the body. Then I'm going to set a, or rather I can even set a padding on the body, padding of 50 pixels at the top and bottom and 30 pixels on the left and right to push it inwards. As you can see, let's say 100 pixels on the top and bottom. Okay, look at that. And then on the container, because I want this to push inwards as well. Oh no. Because the image doesn't push inwards, but this section right here, this section pushes inwards. In fact, even the image at the bottom right here, it also pushes inwards. So what I need to do is find out where I have this text. So let me see this div goes all the way to the bottom. So inside here, let me give this a class of description, like so. Description has an I, description. Okay, and then I'm going to target the container, target the description class, description, like so. Then add a padding of 30 pixels all around. There we go, pushes it all inwards. And then what do we need to do? Once we do that, then first of all, I want to see if I can limit this image. This image is just a bit too big, just a bit big. So I can go inside the container class and then target this. Let me give this a class of main dash image so that I can target this img instead of, because if I were to target this image by the tag, they need to also select all these other images, which I don't want. So I want to go specifically inside this class so that I can target this image alone. So I can save that, and then I can say that target the container, target the dot main dash image class, and then target the img. Set the height for this to 300 pixels, and then set the width to 100, width to 100%. There we go. Reduce this to 200. Let's say 250. 250 is looking much better, much closer to the design. I think 250 is much closer to the design. And then for the container, I've just noticed that we need to add a border radius all around. We need to add a slight border radius, so let's do that. Go inside this container right here and say border dash radius. Set this to around 10 pixels. 10 pixels should reflect at the bottom here, does it? Just a bit, let's say 20 pixels. Okay, and then we also want it to appear at the top, and the reason why it doesn't appear at the top but it appears at the bottom is because the image technically overflows outside of the container. So we can just fix that over here by saying border dash radius, set this to 20 pixels on the top left, 20 pixels on the top right, and then 0 on the bottom right and 0 on the bottom left. So that, would you look at that, looking amazing, fantastic. Now what do we need to do? Let's see, what do we need to do? We need to change the text color. Let's go back to the body right below this, change the text color to the saturated blue. Let's see, awful. It should be very dark blue. What was it? Very dark grayish, very dark grayish blue. Once we have that, what do we need to do? Let me reduce the font size of the h2 that we have inside here, the h2 inside the class of description. So let me copy this, go inside the h2 and just reduce the font size to, let's say, 20 pixels. Then let's reduce the line height to 1.2, and then let's say margin dash bottom, or that, let me just stick with the paddings. So padding dash bottom, say 20 pixels to push it away from the paragraph right there. Let's see. Okay, pushed away just a bit from the paragraph, like so. And the line height is a bit bigger here, so let's increase it to 1.3, 1.4. 1.4 should be fine. And then once you do that, what I want to do is, remember how we added this first div inside here? I don't want this to show by default. I only want this to show when we click on this button of share. I think that's how they've set it inside here. Where is it? That's how they've set it. As you can see, it's technically not visible. So what I want to do is look for that class. Where is it? This div, the class of open share. Okay, so let me target the container, then the avatar. Wait, container description avatar. Oh, you know what, let me just say container avatar. So the container dot avatar, and then inside the avatar, what do we want to target? The class of open share dot open dash share. Then we can just say display none on it, and it should disappear right there. Would you look at that? And then I can go back inside here and then target the paragraph now, so that I can push it away from this image. Let me see how this looks. Not this one, but inside here. Okay, I can say padding bottom, set this to 20 pixels as well. Let's say 30 pixels. 30 pixels should be fine. Okay, and then for this, we're going to do something more to this, because I kind of want like an animation once it's when it's clicked on, that it just doesn't pop in. But you know, that would depend on how much I'm willing to do. Okay, and then once we do that, then let's see, we can now go inside this div with the class of avatar. This will mess me up just a bit. I think this is going to mess me up just a bit. So this div, the class of OpenShare, is here. Okay. So what I want is this div. Wait a minute. This div and this div. I want these two divs to be inside a div with the class of, let's say, avatar-img. Okay. Because what I want to happen is I want this OpenShare to be positioned absolute within this avatar class, and the avatar class is the entire wrapping div, right? But I don't want to display flex on this because that was my first idea. I want to display flex on this class only. So avatar img. So let's go back inside here, save this first. Then let's go back inside here, target this class, and then target the avatar-img class, then say display flex. Really, display flex. Okay, and then align item center, and then justify content to space between, which will put this to the end. Would you look at that? Wait a minute, am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this wrong? Am I doing this wrong? Okay, I am correct. Now what I need to happen is, now I should give this another class. I should have used Tailwind for this, but no, you just had to do everything by yourself. Let's say avatar-text, give us a class of avatar text, and then I can grab this, and then I can target the avatar-text inside here, and then I can just say display flex. Let's see what happens. There we go. Oh my goodness, that's not what I wanted to happen. What I wanted to happen is, should have placed this inside a div. This file structure is so horrible. It's so horrible. Oh, it's so horrible. It hurts my eyes. Okay. Let's say display flex inside here. And let's say align item center. Okay. And then now grab this and then target the image. So this image, make it smaller. Let's say, oops, wait a minute. The class of avatar text, which image will you target? Okay, it's only this one. I thought it's going to affect this one as well, but we're fine. We're fine. Let's reduce this width of this image to 50 pixels. Okay, let's add border radius. Let's say border radius, let's say 50% to make it rounded, like so. And then what is happening? Avatar and display flex. Justify contact to the center. What is happening? What is happening with this text? What? I'm confused. What is happening in this text? This is bothering me. Let me add a media query here. At media, let's say min width of 992 pixels. Then let's target the container, and then let's say for the container this should be a max width of 700 pixels. Okay, then let's say margin, set it to auto, push it back to the center. So why are you behaving like this? Let's see. This has a padding bottom of 30. Why did I add a padding bottom of 30 on the paragraph? Description paragraph. Oh no. Oh no. So that's the problem. That was the problem. So what I need to do is, where's the description paragraph? This one here. Just go inside here and add some inline styling. So I'm going to say for the style equals to, how do you add inline style? Padding bottom 30 pixels. Okay, so that it doesn't affect this other one. So I can remove this. Okay. Okay, that's looking much better. And then right as we do that, let me say margin dash right, set this to around 20 pixels, push it away from this text just a bit. And there we go. Let me see what padding right will do. Yeah, that's what padding right does. Margin is much better. Okay, so now that we've done this, then we need to add some kind of event listener on this. All right. Wait a minute. First of all, we need to style this out. Where is it? Where is display now? Here. Comment this out. Then let's add a background color of dash dash desaturated dark blue. No, that's not the color. Should be very dark bluish blue. That's the color. And then I can say position this as absolute. Okay, the width should be 100%. Okay, from the left 0. Wait a minute, not from the left 0, but how much did you have here on the body? It was around 30 pixels, so this should be 60 pixels. Oops, not 60 but 30. What am I doing? Math is hard. And then position it to the bottom of, oh no, that is going to be an issue. But then it's not going to be an issue because I need to go inside this avatar class and then add position relative on it. I didn't add this class, so let me copy this, add it inside here, and then I'm going to say position relative, like so, so that they can go inside. Let's say left 0 or left minus 30 pixels, so that it goes all the way to the end. And then we're going to say width is going to be 110, 20. No, I don't want to keep on guessing the width. 100. Okay, let's do this. Let's do calc, right? 100% plus 30 pixels. No, plus 40 pixels, plus 50 pixels, plus 60 pixels. There we go. There we go. Math is hard, says who. And the bottom should be minus 30%, 30 pixels as well. There we go. And these numbers aren't really chosen at random. It's because of we had a padding of 30 pixels right here, which pushes these words inwards, and then 100% plus. What this calc means is that make sure that the width is always 100%, right? Which without adding this, you'll notice that it goes all the way up to here where the padding starts. So we technically need to add 60 pixels on it so that it goes all the way to the end. That's what this calc means. I hope I explained it good enough. Okay, now what we need to do is this needs to have a border radius on the bottom. So I'm going to say border radius of 0 on the top left, 0 on the top right. And then what is the border radius that we added of the container? I can remember this, 20 pixels. So 20 pixels on the bottom right and 20 pixels on the bottom left, so that we have this. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Okay, let me check something. I'm just checking something. Okay, so I'm correct. It's correct. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to add some margin on the container so that this text pushes downwards. No, don't add it there. Let me go back to the container and add a margin dash. No. Let's say padding dash bottom. let's say really padding bottom 30 pixels. No, let's just say margin because I don't want the padding to I don't want this white space right here. Okay. Getting tired. Now let's go back inside here and then change the text color to white. Change the text color to white so they can see this share, and then I can now say display flex on this, right? And then align item center and justify content to space between. Okay. So space between, let's say space around or space evenly. No, I think we're going to have to work with the space between. Which means now we don't need this because we can't have two display properties on one class name. Let's see what we need to do. So I need to grab this div and push it inwards by 30 pixels so that it rhymes with this. Then I also need to grab this div and push it inwards by 30 pixels. So let's do this. Let me grab this, copy this, paste it below this, and then grab the div, and I'm going to say padding of 0 on the top and bottom and 30 pixels on the left and right. There we go. So let's say around 5 pixels on the top and bottom. Here, that looks much better. And then I need to grab this first div. The first div alone should have a property of display flex. So let me copy this down, let me paste it here, and then let's say open share, and I want to say target the first div. So first dash child, like so, and then I'm going to say display flex, and then align item center and justify content to the center. Okay, and then now we need to grab this UL, so I can just copy this, paste it downwards, grab the UL, and I'm going to say display flex. Okay, so there we go. It's coming together, and then say align item center and justify content to the center, like so. Now what we need to do is we need all of this to cover all the way up to the image. So let's go back to the div inside here, and then let's say the height for this should be 60 pixels, or let's say 100 pixels. Nope, let's say 90. Let's say 70, just so that I can see where the head starts around there. So let's say 80. I think 80 pixels should be fine. Let's do 90 pixels just so that it's almost like in the middle of everything. And then once you do that, what do you need to do? We need this share to be capital. Where's the share? The share is the paragraph inside here. So we can do that easily by just grabbing this. Actually, you know what? I can just basically sit here and say text transform, set this to uppercase, like so, so that the share is uppercase, and then change the color for this to what is the color name? Should be desaturated dark blue. Is it desaturated dark blue? No, that's not the color. Should be grayish blue. I think that's much better. Okay. And then for the ULs inside here, let me add a margin on the left. So margin dash left. Oh, you know what? Instead of doing that on the UL, let me do it on the list item. So just grab this, paste it inside here, target the list items, and say margin of 0 on the top and bottom and 10 pixels on the left and right. Separate them out just like that. Would you look at that? Okay, so now that we have done all this, what we need to do is we don't want this to appear by default, right? We don't want this to appear by default. We only want it to appear when we click on this. So what can we do about that? We can go inside here, just copy this and paste it downwards,
and then add a class on this called clicked, like so. And what this is doing is that it is checking for when this div has the class of clicked. That's when it's going to apply the style that I'm going to place inside here, which is basically to reset the height for this, right? So what I need to do here instead is set the height to 0 and then set the overflow to hidden, which will hide the text right there. As you can see, it will hide it. And then when it has the class of clicked, then set the height to 90 pixels and then set the overflow to auto, like so. And then you can test it out immediately by going inside here and adding the class of clicked, like so. Would you look at that? But we want to do that using JavaScript. So what we'll need to do is add our script file, of course. So right before the closing body tag, we can just add script source, say this is coming from app.js, and then we need to create this file. So create a file called app.js, like so. And then let's grab our div. So let's say const show socials. Let's just say socials equals to document.query selector. Let's select the class of dot open-share, like so. And then we also need to grab this image right here. So let me just figure out what that image is. The image should be this one, right? So let me give this a class name, or I can even give it an ID of share, like so. And then you can say const share, okay, const share btn equals to document dot query selector, and then we're selecting the ID. Okay, you know what, I can just use document.getElement by ID. That's why I added the ID. So get element by ID, and it's called share, like so. And then what we need to do is add an event listener on the share button. We are listening for the click event, so that when we click on it, then we are going to add the class of clicked. So share btn dot add event listener. We're listening for the click event, and then I'm going to immediately place my arrow function inside here and then just invoke it. And then I'm going to say socials, right, which is basically this div of OpenShare that we have. And I'm going to say class list dot add, and then we're adding the class of clicked that we've just created. Clicked, I don't know how to spell it, clicked, like so. Now theoretically this should work, so let's test it out. Let's see. And there we go. Would you look at that? Looking amazing. Now we just need a way to remove this, right? And I've just noticed something is that I want this to transition. So let me add a transition, come on, transition all the properties by 0.4 seconds. Then let's say it is in out, like so. Would you look at that? Do you see that transition? Look at this. Oh, that's so satisfying. That is so satisfying. Okay. Now what I need to do is add a cursor point on this icon, because I don't like this cursor that it has. It kind of gives the illusion that it's not clickable. So let me target the ID of share and go inside here, and then what div is it? The avatar img. So let's figure out where we had that avatar img inside here. Copy this, and probably at the bottom, because it comes after all this, right? Does it? Let me confirm that. Where's the avatar? Okay, here, right at the bottom. So avatar img, target the ID of share, then I'm going to say cursor pointer, like so. There we go. So we have a cursor of pointer, looking amazing. Now what we need to do is grab this second image from here, the second share image, and then we're just going to basically do the opposite of this. So the second image is where? Should be this one, right? Should be this one. So let me give this an ID of
let's say remove dash share, like so. And then let's go back into our app.js and let's get that part. So I'm going to say const remove share btn equals to document dot get element by id, and it's called the id of remove dash share. And notice how when we're using query selector we add the dot, meaning we're targeting the class, but when we just target the id, then we're giving the name of the id. So that is something that is usually different with query selector. For example, even if I were to use query selector here, query selector, then I would have to say open a bracket and give a hashtag remove dash share. That is how you would have to target it. Okay, so notice the difference. So we have remove share here, and then I'm going to say remove share btn dot add event listener, and we're listening for the click event once again, and then pass in our arrow function, and then I'm going to say socials dot class list dot remove, and removing the class of clicked which we have added inside here. So save that, and then this should now work. Come on, there we go. Would you look at that? So now it's working. Now the only thing that is remaining is for this, what is it, for this remove share button, I also want to add a cursor. So let me see where it is. It's inside the open share and it's called remove share. So let me see where we have open share inside here. Just copy this and then paste it right around here. Target the ID of remove dash share, and then I'm going to say cursor pointer, like so. Click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this. That is so satisfying. It is super satisfying. Now all we need to do is just scale it up. Shouldn't be all that hard. And remember, we already added a media query inside here. Now what I want to do is let me close this as well, and then we can close this as well. I think we are done with it. Now what we need to do, let me see how this desktop design looks like. So this will design the image on the left and the text on the right. So let's see if I structured that correctly. So we have a class of container, right? The image is the first div, and then this class of description is the second one. There we go. So to get the container, let me go inside here and then go inside my media query, add a media query here and say add media, and say min width of 768 pixels. Then I want to target the container class like so, and then just say display flex. Would you look at that? And then now what I want to do is here, right? Display flex, let's say display flex align item center and just frequent it to the center. We need to reset a few things, just a few things. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Inside here, let me add a min height of 100 viewport height so that it's completely centered. Okay, that's not my intention. That was not my intention. Okay, instead what I can do is I can target the body. Oops, body like so. Let's say display flex. Let me see what happens. And then let's say flex dash direction. Set this to column. So this goes back to the bottom, and then I can say align item center. Come on, and just contact the center, and then set min height, a minimum height of 100 viewport height so that it's completely centered. There we go. There we go. Now it's completely centered. Now what we need to do is just deal with this image. Let's deal with this image. Where did we have our image? It was the container description. container main image img, so this one right here. Copy this and go inside this first media query, paste it below this, and then say border radius. Right now what we need to do is remove this border. This will remain, but we need to remove this border radius here, and then we need to add it here. So I'm going to say border radius of 20 pixels on the top left, 0 on the top right, 0 on the bottom right, and 20 pixels on the top left, on the bottom left, like so. And then set the height. Let me see what happens if I set the height to 100%. Let's use our calc once again. Oh, wait a minute. We did something on this image, right? Yes, we did something on this image. So now what we need to do is play around with this image. We need to play around with this image, right? So let's say, let me see if I can say once again calc, right? So calculate 100% of the image and then add 60 pixels on it. That doesn't work. Let me see if I can stretch this up just a bit longer. So that, what's this? I don't remember opening another tab. Okay, I think this should work. This should work. There you go. 100% plus 60 pixels. Let's say plus 120 pixels. What am I doing wrong? 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 Let me see. Set the width to 300 pixels. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the width was the problem. Let's set the width to 500 pixels. Okay, the width was not the problem. 600 pixels, 700 pixels, 1000 pixels. Let's set the height to 500 pixels. Okay, let's reduce the height to 400 pixels to 300 pixels. Curious. 350. This is a bit curious. This is a bit curious. Why do we have this space at the bottom? Let me inspect this. Let me check this out. Why do we have this space at the bottom? Why do we have this space at the bottom? Why do we have this space at the bottom? Oh, wait a minute. Is that space part of the image? No. Is that space part of the image? Is that space part of the image? Is that space part of the image? Is that space? No, it's not. It's not part of the image. Okay, so probably our container is overflowing in some way. Our container is probably overflowing in some way. Probably overflowing in some way. But it's not this one. Is it because of this? What is causing this to behave like this? Anyways, let's reduce this to height or increase it to 360. Let's say important. 370. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I'm not in the mood for this, man. I am not in the mood for this. I am so not in the mood for this. Oh, you know what? You know what? This thing thinks it's clever. Instead of doing display flex here, let's say display grid. Let's say grid template columns to repeat 2 and 1 function. Okay, let's reduce this. Return this. Oh no! Oh no! 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 100%. There we go. There we go. Would you look at that? It thought it was cleverer than me. Okay, now let's see what we need to do for our desktop design. We need to do something to this. What was it? And this is it. We need to take this out of the normal flow. This is so annoying. This is so annoying. It is so annoying. I could probably increase the width for this. Let's say 800. Doesn't feel natural. Let's say 750. What is the line height for this paragraph? The line height for the paragraph looks just a bit bigger. And it's 3 lines, so let's make this 3 lines as well. Let's say 780. Let's say 800. You know, you can do everything. Now what you need to do is deal with this OpenShare class. Okay, so where was our OpenShare? Let me increase this. Where was our OpenShare? Where is it? Here, and it should be this one. So we need to change a few styles inside here. For example, we now no longer want it to the left by 30%. By 30%, we want it to the right. So let's go inside here. Okay, then let's change it to the right by minus 30 pixels. Let's see. Oops. Let's change it to the bottom by 50 pixels. Okay, let's say right by 30 pixels. Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Is it because it should be to the what? Let's say minus 10%. Okay, well, not. I think it's because of position relative on this. Let me just test something out. Let me find where I have relative. Disable this. Okay. Nope, don't disable that then. Let me see. Left, let's say left by 100%. Seriously? Are you serious? Okay, then let's say left by 50%. Okay, and then let's say width for this should be 300 pixels. How big is that? Okay, that's good enough. Then let's say the height for this now is no longer 90 pixels, it should be 50 pixels. Oops. Let me find where I have this. Really, I want to find this. I had a height of 0. Width of this, where okay, so this height is the height for, okay, you know what, let's add a border radius. Let's go inside here, add a border radius of 20 pixels around, so that we have this, right? So this removes it, this adds it, this removes it,
this as it. Now technically what you would want to happen is that when you click on this again, then it should remove this as well. So let's fix that just a bit. Let's go into app.js, and then here instead of saying add, let's say toggle. That's when I click this, and there we go. Now this, because this only appears when this is set to clicked, now this doesn't matter really because we can't really see it when it doesn't have the class of clicked. Now the final thing that we need to do is add a triangle, and guess what I'm going to do? How to create a triangle in CSS from W3 schools. Let's look at that. What's my triangle down? I want this one. Okay, so we need to do this. Triangle down, div with the class of triangle down. So we need to create a div with the class of triangle down, and we need to create it where we want it to render, and we want it to render inside this open share class, right? So let's do it. Let me see if this is like div with the class of triangle dash down, like so. Save that, and then right inside here I'm going to paste it inside here, and then target the dot container dot avatar dot open dash share, and then triangle down. Let's see where it will appear. Where does it appear? It appears here, right? So we want to remove it from here and place it at the bottom. Okay, so let's say position absolute, right? And this is a bit too much. Let's say 10 pixels. Wait a minute. This should be 20 therefore, right? Oh my goodness, this math is so hard. Wait. Why has this messed up everything? Let's reset that just a bit. Remove this. Oh, it's because of the display flex that I targeted the nth child. I targeted the nth child somewhere. So what I need to do is I don't want this to be here, because it now becomes the first child. Remember, we set this to be the first child, right? We were targeting this as the first child, so I want to place it just inside here. Then that should be much better. Let's see. Okay, nope, it's not. It is not. So what we need to do is grab this from here and probably place it here. Okay guys, if you didn't know, web development is a lot of trial and error. Now you know. The more you know. Now where's my triangle? Are you serious? Are you serious? Let's see what we need to do. Let's see. Let's see. Triangle down. Where should I place this? Because I want this avatar to be the parent. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. The avatar is still the parent div, right? The avatar here is still the parent div, but I want it to be inside the open share div. How do I do that? Oh, how do I do that? Okay, you know what? I think we're going to have to reset a few things inside here. And the first thing that we need to reset is this one.
So instead of having first child inside here, so every first child that we have inside here is going to turn to nth dash child, and what I get in the second one. Seriously? Hmm. Okay, you know what? I have another idea. Okay, so instead of type, you know what? Let's make this let's make this to be a paragraph. Let me see if this will work. Are you serious? So once we have the paragraph here, then what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Have our triangle down, position obsolete. Why is this still misbehaving though? Why is this still misbehaving? What if I grab it from here and paste it here? What happens? Yeah, there we go. So we paste it at the bottom so that this happens. And because I don't want to keep on clicking this thing every time I make a change, then what I'm going to do is what is it? Right inside here, I'm going to go inside here and add the class of clicked, like so that it's always going to be active, that I don't have to keep on clicking every time I make a change. So once I say position obsolete, let me say left of 50%, like so. And then let's say transform translate translate where on the x-axis by minus 50%, that is not completely centered perfectly. And then let's say bottom 0, sorry, not 0, bottom of minus 30 pixels. And then let's say the z index to 10 so that it's always on top. Come on, why does this thing have to do me like this? Why do you have to do this? Let me see if I can say important here. Nope. So for the OpenShare, I don't want this overflow to be here. So let me say overflow. Set this to hidden. Let me see. Really? Oh my god, why isn't this? Nothing is working. There we go. Set it to hidden. Something is not working correctly. Something is not working correctly. Let me grab all of this first of all, move them upwards, and then grab this, move it downwards. Bottom of that pixels, let's say bottom 0. Let's reduce this to 10 pixels and then reduce this to 20 pixels so that it's a very small error. Let's say how 15 looks. I think 15 will be much better. Let me change this to red, that it's more visible. Why? Want it to be from the bottom? Oh, you know what? Let me see if this hack will work. If this works, I am not changing it. Let's say margin dash bottom, set it to minus 30 pixels, minus 10. It still goes below. Why does it go below? Let me try. Why does it go below this? probably because the open share doesn't have a z index. Let me see. We're adding a z index on this fixed. Let's say z index of -1. Okay, let's say z index of 1. But why doesn't that fix it? This has a z index of 10. If it were -1, then it would go behind, but it doesn't. -2, 199. Oh my goodness, this is very annoying. It's very annoying. It is very, very annoying. Transform bottom -1 pixel -10 pixel. Okay guys, you know what, this thing is very annoying. Why? I'm trying to think, why does it behave like this? I can't seem to find a reason for this behavior. Is it because it's a paragraph? Is it because it's a paragraph? Is it? Could that really be the reason? Is it because it's a paragraph? Is it because it's a paragraph? Down, triangle down, triangle down. Let's say display block. What is causing this behavior? This insolence. Open share. What did I have on this div of open share? What did I have on this div? I would have thought that would work. I would have thought that would work, but why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work? And you know what? The problem could be very, very simple. But it is midnight and I am tired. Just sitting here staring at your screen. Because nothing should change. Let me see something. Let me see if I can grab this. Let me see if I add it. If I add it here, and then set the height for this to 50 pixels. Just reduce it a bit, probably 60. Or 70. Let's say 60 pixels. Right, that will be much better for bigger screens. Therefore, then what we need to do is what? Why can't I figure this out? Why can't I figure this out? Let's say transform. Wait. Let's comment that out. Let's say transform. Translate on the y-axis. Let's say 50%. Let's say 60. Okay, 100%. 110 and 20 and 30 and 60 and 200. Oh my goodness, I can't figure out why this thing is going below the image. Why can't I figure this thing out? Why can't I figure this out? Why? Why? Let's say bottom of 0. Let's say here to 60%. Let's say 55%. 54%. Change this to 54%. What if on the open share, what if on this class, what is this? What if on this class I add a margin dash bottom of 30 pixels? It moves everything downwards, upwards. Then if I say bottom of minus 30 pixels here, it goes completely outside. And if I say the index of 10,000, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Let me give this, instead of having red here, let me give it the proper color, which should be very dark grayish blue. Very dark grayish blue. Now it completely disappears. And that is so oh my god, that is so annoying. And you know what, I am really tired, guys, so you know what, I'm just going to call it here. I'm going to call it here, and then I'm going to create a GitHub repository for this, just so that I can review this at a later time. So article preview component, like so. Create repository, then copy this, and then just close this server. First of all, close this because I'm annoyed, and then I'm going to say git init Okay, I'm going to say git add or git commit -m article preview component complete, or rather almost complete. Then I'll say git branch -m main git remote add origin, paste this in, git push -u origin main. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to complete this probably tomorrow because I'm very sure that I'm going to figure out the problem with this as soon as I get to bed, or as soon as I wake up in the morning. But that is so annoying. Oh my god, it is so annoying. It's so annoying. But anyway, I think that is going to be it for this stream. I don't know whether the audio is going to be good enough for to upload this to YouTube. But yeah, that is going to be it for this stream. Thank you guys for following along. Thank you for joining. And oh my god, today I've maintained such a good thing. Drop frames 118, which is not so bad. It's not so bad, but you know. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for following along, and see you in the next stream. Bye bye.